Afternoon, everyone. It's Friday, September 27th. This is Liam McMahon with the Daily Moving Average video. Happy Friday. Welcome to the end of September. October starts on Tuesday, and with October beginning, we obviously have beginning of the month flows, beginning of the quarter flows, plus a ton of risk event risk this upcoming week. So lots to talk about, lots to look over. Please take a moment to take a look at the risk disclaimer, which should now be on your screen. We'll get started shortly. Okay. All right, let's start with Aussie Yen. Classic risk pair. Head and shoulders pattern breakdown, daily close. Also, incidentally, worth noting, daily close below the 200 EMA. All right, we broke above it, stayed above it, now we've fallen back below it. Today, end of the day, testing this 50-day EMA here. Distinct possibility that we bounce up to about 92 before falling lower. 90 is the first target. Is the target for this measured move of the inverse head and shoulders. That's if that 50-day goes, and if we don't manage to get back above 92. E-minis, speaking of risk, S&P futures. Right, very clear here. I said this in the weekend webinar. If we break this trend line, it should probably mark momentum for the rest of the week. It did to a certain extent. We ended lower after we broke this trend line, but to be honest, it really could and should have been a little bit worse. We still have this 50-day EMA here at 1671 as the next major support level. The really huge support level, though, is 1646.79, basically. That is the 100-day EMA. It's also this long-standing trend line, all right, that dates back to November of last year. So it's basically a year-long trend line. 1, 2, 3, 4 tests of that trend line is very, very significant. A move below there opens up 1592. That's a 200-day EMA. But if we do breach that trend line, I would expect a deeper pullback to the 1550 to 1500 range over the next 4 to 6 months. After that, I would anticipate the rally resuming and us heading up towards new highs. But that trend line break could be significant. Look for the October FOMC meeting to perhaps provide a spark for that. Unlikely, but it is possible depending on how the market handles the next couple weeks. The next couple weeks are going to be significant as we take a look at dollar yen. All right, we are testing the 100-day on dollar yen. Watch this descending trend line for a break. This upcoming week, we have the RBA, ECB, BOE, and the big one will be October non-farm payroll or September non-farm payroll reports due out on Friday. All right, NFPs are going to be huge. They have been really forever, and they're going to continue to be forever. But this month, especially considering the Fed's decision not to taper on weaker than expected data. So the decision not to taper, somewhat criticized, all right, by many people, including myself. These NFP numbers people will be looking at very carefully. A blowout beat for NFPs, and people are going to start talking about a taper in October. That's unlikely, but it is something to consider. Let's take a look at Aussie dollar while we talk about the RBA. RBA shows up on the 1st, that is Tuesday. That's Eastern time. It's probably Wednesday for most people. There have been rumors circulating about a potential rate cut coming this week, this upcoming meeting. I find that unlikely. All right, there's really nothing in the minutes to suggest that they're considering another rate cut, but that has been the rumor. You can see the Aussie suffered today, down just over 0.5%. I have this gap highlighted. We have an open gap here. 92.75 is about 40 pips lower. That lines up nicely with this 50-day EMA, so definitely keeping an eye on that level at the beginning of next week. Kiwi dollar looking at 81.61, 38% fib, open gap, horizontal support. I prefer the 50% fib. That's 80.76, and that aligns nicely with some moving average support, so that'll definitely be the level, another level to watch should we break below that horizontal support at 81.61. Euro dollar. Possible flag break, target still above 138 on the measured move from this 50% retest. All right, this is a 50% fib. This is the extension drawn to about 138. Pound dollar. Okay, another potential flag break around 163.79, so 164 basically. I will start to look very carefully for shorting opportunities on pound dollar, especially if we start to squeeze up there here early in the week. This is a very stretched pair. I still like it macro very long, but on a more just order flow FX positioning sort of time time frame basis, here on the daily time frame, it looks really stretched. On the weekly chart, I like it higher. On the daily time frame, I'm going to look for it to take a breather deck down to 159 if we get up towards 163, 164. All right, so that's what I'm looking at here to start the week. Or rather to get started for next week. Euro Aussie breaking back above this. This was a great short setup that we fell down off of, and now we've broken back above. Every time a short setup breaks, look for a long. So that's definitely something to watch very carefully for next week. Euro Yen was a request that I forgot to do. All right, this is Euro Yen. We're still broken out of this wedge, but we're now falling below this supporting trend line. We're going to get a daily close below. I would be looking at 131.53. 131.49 rather. That is going to be the 50-day EMA and likely a retest of the top of that wedge. All right, so that's a level I would keep an eye on Euro Yen, but it's looking a little shaky, as are most yen pairs. All right, I hope that's helpful. I hope you guys have a terrific weekend. I look forward to a very exciting October. I'll talk to you soon.